The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. I'm your host, Christine Lalonde, and this is the podcast where we uncover the truth about online dating. Now let's begin.
Hey everyone, I'm Christine.
And I'm Janice.
And this is 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks for coming back again this week, Janice.
Oh, my pleasure. I don't know how many times have I been on, but it just feels like home to me.
Oh, thank you. You know, I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to look.
Well, because I was one of your first guests, and then we became besties, and then
we did
collaborators, and yeah, it's been a few.
It's been an awesome 4 years, sister.
Yes. Agreed.
It really has. We are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, 4.5 weeks from being at 4 years for the show, which is very
and
exciting.
That means that we're 4.5 years of friendship, because we became friends Thanksgiving weekend, the first year or month of your show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I remember calling you because I wanted to see if you wanted to be on the show, because I saw you on our group thing for all the, what group are we?
Dating and relationship, content creators, professionals.
Yeah. So I saw you on there and I was like, that bitch is cool. So I was like, let's call you. And I remember calling you, and you were looking for whiskey to buy for your Thanksgiving trip.
Yep, that's my tradition.
You were telling me all about your solo trip that you take, and I was just like floored, I think, at the time to think that a woman would want to go and do this by herself. I was just like, what?
Yeah,
and now
yep.
I was like, I'm never doing that.
You did say that.
Yeah, but here I am now, making plans to take off in my life solo. So I know. I do too.
Glad
it's awesome
to play a little part in inspiring.
All because of you, bitch. I just cheered.
That means so much. And I never knew, having gone on the show, that we would end up being such close friends.
Oh my God. I remember not long after that, I was really struggling with, I had started kind of getting to know and started, I guess you could call, dating somebody from our group. And it just,
oh my God, I forgot about that.
It was going so sideways, and I thought I was going crazy because I couldn't imagine that a dating coach would treat me so disrespectfully and almost gaslight me and try to turn it around the narrative. I was like, am I going crazy?
Well, and you said, so we met through the group, but then we got into the clubhouse. Yes. And I remember you asking if I could chat one day, and I thought that was pretty cool because I thought you were awesome. And
Thank you.
Said, I've gotten into a relationship with Mr. Can we call him Mr. C? Is that enough?
Yes.
And I'm like, what? And then you proceeded to tell me what had been going on, which just blew my mind because I knew him.
Did too.
And then I will never forget.
Oh my God.
Yellow.
You know what's funny? It was when I was getting ready for this show, I was reading through all my notes, and I had put in the notes, what was it? Let me find it really fast.
Is it something about safe words?
Yes, thank you. And it said, green, yellow, and red. And I started cracking up because I remember that he was just acting so mother effing weird. And we were at a family breakfast place and there were children everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I was just talking to him about the fact that he was acting very bizarre and that I wasn't comfortable with how he was treating me. And he just said, yellow is the safe word. And then grabbed me, shoved me against a car and started blatantly sticking his tongue in my mouth, sticking his hand in my boobs. He was like trying to fill me up and press me against the stranger's car.
I thought it was your car.
No, wasn't even my car. And he just was like, acting all fucking weird, and then he went all nuts, and it was in front of a bunch of children and people, and I just kept saying, all I could say was yellow, yellow, yellow. I was like, how's yellow sound now?
Oh, I was my God, so strange.
That was bizarre.
How does yellow sound now? Oh my God. Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'd ever had anybody scream yellow at him after he said yellow's the safe word.
He never imagined someone was going to actually use it, right?
Right? I'm like, you crazy motherfucker. Okay. God.
And then there was some other drama that I don't think we'll talk about right now with our Clubhouse group and some questionable things that he said. But
well, that also kind of came across my mind when I was doing a lot of my research about my notes for this episode, because we did a Clubhouse episode talking about consent. And he said some off-the-wall fuckery, and I lost my marbles. And publicly, I lost my marbles. Go figure, folks. And I was like, oh, I can't hold this back, because, as a woman talking about consent and a man thinking that he could speak on the behalf of women pissed me the fuck off. And he said some really shitty things.
He said that when a man breaks consent or doesn't ask for consent or breaches trust, that it's also really important for the man to have someone to hold space for the man as well. And
sorry, I vomited.
It was just like not germane to like the rest of the conversation that we were having, and he was really like, I need to make sure that we also talk about what the man needs when he does things, and you were just not.
I was like, we're not talking about how a man feels when a woman says no when she is expressing consent or non-consent, asshole. And I went bonkers, and I let him have it. Let's just say
he ended up getting kicked out of our clubhouse.
He did. Well, this is the thing. Nobody was speaking up, and I was like, the fuck, this is going to be said and be tolerated. And I spoke up.
You indeed did.
I have no problem speaking up.
But then
now.
I actually had the task of telling them that he couldn't be in the clubhouse anymore.
Got it.
Which was
I wish I could have been part of that. God damn it. So I did. I've had a rough week. I've had a rough couple of weeks, actually. I just want to say to all the listeners out there and everybody who comes every week to talk to us, the last 2 weeks I've had to pre-record, and I do not like to pre-record. We try not to do that here at all, because I really love being live and being part of the conversation with everybody. It's really exciting, and I love that. And unfortunately, we had to do that for the last couple of weeks, and I wasn't able to really just say that, I lost that job that I had with that real estate company who fucked me over big time. I was
so sorry.
It was bad. I was being bullied. It was a lot more than the bullying, but that for some reason I start with that every time. I think it really affects me. Misty said it was still a good show. Thank you. We tried to put on as solid of an episode as I can when we have to pre-record. But I did so everybody knows me by now here. And if you're new to the show, I also do filming. And I'm doing a documentary, called Darling of the Derby. And Diane Crump is my hero. She is one of the greatest people in my life. I got a really bad message yesterday that Diane has a very aggressive brain cancer tumor. And she will not be with us much longer. And she called me this morning to have a conversation with me. I tried to record it. I was prepared. I'd gotten this recording device thing for my phone. Unfortunately, it didn't work. But she told me how much she loved me and how her greatest moments in her life was when I'd created those moments with her and her grandchildren and her daughter for the filming. And she said that she had learned some things about her grandchildren and what they knew and thought about her because of my filming. And it changed her life. And she has changed mine and so many around her. And so I've had a rough, couple weeks. And I did a Facebook post yesterday about my struggles and to promote today's show. And a friend of mine saw it and sent me a message, and it has a lot to do about the show and how it ties in with life. And I just wanted to read it really quick before we got into it.
Before we get kinky.
Yes. He said, I'll start out from the beginning. He says, "Hi, I hope today has been a bit better for you. I just watched your TikTok video from yesterday, and yes, your hair did look gorgeous. But more importantly, as you said, tonight's edition of 50 Shades is about kink, consent, and control. And I thought how that weirdly paralyzed your life. Life is a kink, new, arousing, adventurous, stimulating, and some days scary or maybe even a tiny bit dangerous. It's also consent. You have the right to say yes, no, set perimeters, and build relationships not only with others but yourself. Finally, life is about control, how you allow yourself to feel, respond, establish boundaries, and to take responsibility for your everyday life." He goes on to say, a bunch of really wonderful things about me. Y'all don't have to hear. But
Tell us. Tell us one thing that he said about you.
Well, he said, "You are an amazing woman. I watched that video and I thought, that is a person I'd love to sit with and just talk life. She's smart, strong, beautiful, wise, self-aware, and resilient. She knows more and can do more than anyone even believes or herself believes can. I'm not sending this to you for any reason other than to encourage you to be smart about your consent and focus on staying in control. Life is a kink. It can both hurt and turn you on. Don't be afraid of the kink."
Oh, wow.
So that was my message from one of my oldest friends in life. I've known him since high school. So that was nice. And so let's lead into what we're doing today. Today is about the world of kink, consent, and control. Who's really in charge when things get steamy? From fun, safe words and serious talk and trust and boundaries and aftercare, this episode is going to talk about how communication can turn power play into real connection. Sexy, smart, and a little twisted.
Fantastic.
So let's talk about kink. Let's define it, though.
Okay.
Kink is anything outside of vanilla sex, from light spanking to full-on BDSM that's based on shared fantasy and curiosity. Do you have anything to add to that, Janice?
That sounds about right. I think that anytime we use the word vanilla, that's also open for interpretation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I guess
absolutely.
It's anything that you consider outside or you consider to be more than vanilla. In fact, we had an episode on kink maybe like 2 years ago with a mutual friend of ours, and we were talking about, what you consider vanilla and what you don't. And one of my tips for getting kinky is to do to do butt stuff.
Right.
And she said that's considered kinky. Like, that's what I do all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
but
funny.
a lot of people don't.
Yeah. That I don't think butt stuff is anything remotely near vanilla.
I guess a little the same, yeah. And I also know that a lot of people don't consider it vanilla, but she did.
Right, which is funny. I found that interesting. I think there's a lot of common misconceptions on kink. I think that it's important people know that kink is not abuse. It is actually rooted in mutual respect and consent. Actually, people who actually enjoy kink aren't damaged or deviants.
No.
Kink often is more. Kink often requires more of communication and trust. I think more so than vanilla relationships.
Yeah, same with poly. That's why I think it actually is really good for your personal development and character shaping, is because you have to talk about everything.
Yeah, you really do. It's you have to talk about every tiny little thing, and a lot of people don't even know how to communicate on their vanilla side of sex. So the thought of even going kinky and having to talk about every tiny little detail of it is not something that a lot of people are comfortable with.
Yes, beforehand you have to talk about it. And I would hope, obviously, in the midst of it, you have to talk about it. And then, which I think we're going to touch on, is the aftercare, which is an integral part of these
which I love.
Yeah.
I think that the aftercare, just to jump ahead for a second, is, I think, one of the most exciting parts of it. It's like it's a real strong, real loving connection that can happen between two people. And a lot of people think that kink is just some wild and crazy wackadoodle shit, but it can, I mean, it can be as simple as, anal play. It can be as simple as using a toy, a vibrator.
Well, I did bring a couple of our props if you end up wanting to see them.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of that, and I would love it, because one of the things I was like typing away about, I was thinking of you, thinking about your birthdays and.
Oh yes, I am happy to talk about my birthdays.
I love that.
Sure. Yep.
So I've been into kink for a while. It was after my last marriage, because all of my marriages were very vanilla, very, very, very vanilla.
Did you feel, so if you don't mind me asking, did you feel it at the time that you wanted more, or you just got into like a routine, or like looking back you consider them to be vanilla? Like, what was your experience at the time like?
I don't think during the time that I was with them that I would ever think that it had been vanilla. I think that I would have thought that it was just normal relationship, marriage, sex. Because I, understand that, oh gosh, when I was married, the times I was married, back in the day, I was young and naive and fresh out of abuse, and half of the relationships that I was married to were abusive. Not all of them, but half of them. Yes, I've been married 4 times. One was it's where it no longer is a legal marriage. They annul it. That's it. It was annulled. So technically 3 marriages, but I try and I kept trying and I kept trying, with my little abusive mind, thinking that's what I had to do. But looking back, I saw that it was just a vanilla style relationship, and I didn't know any different. And if somebody had been kinky at that time, it probably would have scared the utter shit out of me, because I had come from trauma. But, as I got older and as I started healing, as life went on, I've met more and more men who were a little more kinky and not so vanilla. And, I just gradually worked into it. And I, realized that I don't need one way or another more than anything at all. I need the connection. I need the, the communication, the trust, those things that come with those kind of type of relationships.
Okay.
And not everybody in a vanilla relationship has. I think
the trust and communication is not what everyone has in vanilla. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an example in my own life. Every vanilla relationship, every vanilla sex encounter that I've had, lack of communication, big time. No aftercare, no loving, no connecting. It just wasn't that much. Whereas when I'm with somebody who is into BDSM or kink or even light spanking, they're a lot more gentle. They communicate more. They're more into aftercare. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some fools out there who just think that they know what the fuck they're doing and spanking away and doing shit they don't know. They're the vanilla boys who want to be kinky and think that this is the way to be kinky. You know what I mean? And, I think that a lot of people still have a lot to learn about kink before you dive into it.
Well, you have to be in a relationship in order to explore these things. How can you really communicate and have trust with someone you don't know very well?
Exactly. So in my search to learn more about kink, I realized there were actual types of kink that I didn't know. Okay. I mean, I knew of all of these kinks. I just didn't know they had names to them.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Sensory play.
Oh, so if you don't mind, one of my upcoming episodes of Sex and the Solo Girl is just called Sensory Play.
I love it.
Yes, and I have someone come on and we talk about each of the senses and ways that you can play with it. And so you weren't as familiar with this one?
No. I'm saying that I'm familiar with all of these. I just didn't know they had names to them.
Okay. All right. Okay. Go on.
So sensory play, for those who do not know, is using things like temperature, sound, or texture, just as an example, like food,
nails, smells.
Yeah, feathers,
and smells.
Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. Temperature meaning like ice or warmth. Like trailing with an ice cube and then trailing with your mouth, to cold and warm it up. That's sexy as fuck. Then there's power play, which is Dom sub dynamics. It's about control. It's about obedience. I know all about that stuff, but I didn't know it was called power play.
But you're not into that, are you?
Yeah, 100%.
But you want to be the one who dominates, don't you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm all of these things. I am every one of these kinks, every fucking one of them. I love using sensory. I love power play. I love that control and obedience thing. Now, can I be dominant? Absolutely. I think that I'm very good at doing the flip role, like start with him being dominant and then me and then him, that kind of thing.
Switch.
A switch. See, look at me learning new words every minute.
Oh, take a drink.
I needed that. Then there's, and this I found interesting. I did not know this was called this impact play.
Oh my God, that's okay.
And this is you for sure.
Yes, but also 3 episodes ago on Sex and the Solo Girl, the episode was just called Impact Play, and that's all we talked about. And
I love it.
My thing.
I love it. Yes.
Oh, in fact, hold on, girl.
Let's see it. It's spanking, flogging, paddles, and those are Janice's paddles.
A couple of them. So this is the one that is just for my partner, Tio's.
Okay. I love that one. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is. So also one of our goals is that the next morning I still have the heart
shape on your booty.
Haven't gotten there yet, but yes, I love impact. In fact, we have some others in the room, and then also we got this one recently just for fun.
I like that one. So turn that one up. Yeah, turn that one up to the bottom. I want to see the bottom.
Oh, this?
Yeah. Lift it. So it's got a handle there. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah, of course. Or
I
not
love
of
it.
course, but yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
it
love
cute?
it.
I'm pretty
It
good.
is.
I love this one. So, but the way that they hit and how it feels is a lot different. A lot.
I can imagine hurting. Yeah. The one with the red ties. I can. So those of you who are only listening, Janice has two paddles. One of them is a big like leather squarish one with a handle, and it's got little rivets around it with a heart-shaped cutout of the center of it. And then her other one is just a heart-shaped paddle with red ribbon ties across the front. It's very sexy, almost like a corset. And it's just a heart-shaped paddle. And that one looks like it hurts like a mofo.
It does. And actually, I think my partner is watching. And if he is, if you could bring out the big red one, because...
the red one.
Chris? Because we've got this big, huge, giant one that you can barely fill at all. But yes, these are two of my favorite ones.
Yeah, the smaller it goes, the harder it hurts.
Yeah, so
the bigger the paddle, the less.
Spoon from the kitchen the other day, and I could not handle it.
No,
it stung so much.
Yeah, growing up, the wooden spoon. No, thank you. Nope.
Yes, but impact. That's my thing.
So that's impact play. That's spanking, flogging, and paddles. And then there is the last one, which is role play or fetish, either one.
Okay.
And I love this one too. This one can be like, teacher, student, the boss, employee. It entails also say things like fetish that's like latex, that kind of fun stuff.
But also I think a fetish is something that someone really, really, really needs to get off, whereas a kink is something that someone kind of likes.
Yes. I do agree.
Oh, look. Chris
he brought the paddle. Oh, so that looks like a wooden one. Is that wooden?
It's not wooden. It's plushy.
It's plush. It looks leathery.
Okay,
folks.
Yeah, it's not.
It looks like a gigantic ping pong paddle.
Yes.
But it is covered in like burgundy kind of leathery looking stuff, and it is a lovely paddle. Actually, that one looks good.
It doesn't hurt at all. So the thing with this one is it makes us sound so loud that I'm totally guessing that the neighbors can easily hear. It doesn't hurt, but the sound is really exciting.
Yeah, actually, that is something that I wanted to say. Is like the bigger the paddle, the more soundy it is, but less painful. Which is great because a lot of the turn on is the sound, not only the feel, but the sound. Like some people don't like the pain. So for those who don't like the pain, get something that's bigger, bolder like this that doesn't hurt, but sounds like it does. And then that's a freaking like, woohoo.
Well, and we talked in the episode about how some people get really into bullwhips. And how I can't have somebody bullwhipping me, but the sound is quite sexy.
Yes. It's interesting. When I was growing up, my uncle had this bullwhip, only because, of course, we were on a ranch. It was needed. And I used to stand out in the yard and practice all the time.
That's so sexy.
I can do whatever I need to do with a bullwhip. I can pretty much nail anything. It's been a while, but I think I could.
Really?
Nail anything. It's been a little while, but I think I still got it. And there's no fucking way that I could handle that because I've accidentally gotten it. Ow. Ow. That shit hurts. No, thank you. So I'd like to move on to consent. The non-negotiable part of kink. Okay. So kink and consent go hand in hand because the cornerstone of kink is nothing happens without informed, enthusiastic, ongoing consent. And when it says ongoing, it means ongoing because there are people who do not understand that consent can be taken away at any time. Like somebody could feel in the moment that it's going to be okay, that they're going to try this, they want this, but halfway through or partial way through, they change their mind, and it is okay. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's a very valuable thing to do, to remember that consent can be taken away at any time. Even if somebody's in the middle of having just regular old sex with you, if they've changed their mind in the middle of it, which they can, it needs to stop. It doesn't mean that you're raping them, but it means you are if you don't fucking stop. So there's a fine line there, and I think people need to understand that consent is massively important.
Well, and that's where the communication part comes in, and why it's kind of hard to have some of these experiences with someone you're not in a relationship with, because this is something that you will determine ahead of time. But even if you haven't determined it ahead of time, no means no.
Yes.
Pushing you away means no. Being in a relationship doesn't mean that you're
entitled to anything.
Yep. That was something hard for me in my relationships.
I think
two of them, at least.
I think a lot of people are very aware. A lot of, I don't want to say just women, because there are men out there that go through this too. But there comes a time in a lot of our lives that we will feel coerced into something, pressured into something, not maybe thinking this is something that we want, or maybe even thinking it's a good thing when we started. And then as you got in, it's either hurting really bad, or it just doesn't feel right.
It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. And that can change. And I think that's important. And we may even do an episode just on, consent at some point. But yeah. So there is something that's called, like what we said, informed consent. And let's talk about the basics of that. One of the things is everyone understands what's going to happen. And that's what we were talking about, is, talking about all the details of what you plan on doing, even if it's just spanking.
Well, and this is why in the BDSM community, we call it a scene that you plan out ahead of time, that you talk about, and then you execute with, the informed consent, like what's on the table, what do we want to do, and then kind of planning it out. And a lot of people think that something that sounds formulaic, but actually it makes it really sexy. Actually.
Really sexy.
And the anticipation. Oh, yes. We did it.
We're just both over here. I'm glowing. I didn't need to put.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't need to put blush on today. Another informed consent that's very important is that we were just saying is everyone can stop at any time. Everyone can stop at any time. Let's keep that in mind, folks. And the other thing is everyone has the capacity to consent. No substances, no pressure.
I don't know about that.
Now, if this is something that is new, I think that maybe you should maybe not.
But again, to talk about this ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because, this goes along with informed consent. If there are going to be certain substances either available or partaken, like what does that mean for this scene? I don't think that no substances is really a thing as long as you talk about it ahead of time.
Yeah, well, it could, keep in mind it could be with a new partner that you're trying things with, maybe try not to, drop some acid or something before you go and do that, because what are you thinking?
Yeah, but you need to know the person, and maybe having had acid with them before, and like, what is this going to look like, type of thing. Exactly. It's all about the communication and the talking and the using your words.
Why do you think safe words matter, and how to choose them, Janice?
Well, I think that it matters because in the heat of the moment, it can be really hard to communicate otherwise. And because all you have to do is say the safe word. You don't have to sit there and formulate, how do I communicate to this person that this isn't good for me, or I'm not feeling it. You just boom.
Yellow.
Yes, yellow. Or it's not just about safe words, because sometimes you're not able to use your words. You might have a ball gag in or something.
Right.
But yes,
Right.
different ways that you communicate in the moment, on the spot, within a second, that we need to stop, we need to recalibrate, we need to talk about this.
Yes.
That's really
Agreed.
hard to do when you're having a sexual encounter.
It is. And I do think that if you're worried about having a safe word, and if you're going to remember it, or in the heat of the moment be able to say it, I do think that there are certain things, like you said, that are, physical ways of letting somebody know it's time to stop.
You can use I haven't ever done this, but somebody suggested that you could have a squeezy ball that you use.
Oh,
so it's in
to
your
squeak.
Hand.
Yeah, squeaky.
And again, I haven't done that.
Maybe I'll bring a foghorn next time.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Or a dinner bell.
I rarely use a safe word.
In my current relationship, no. In the past, I have.
Yeah. Well, a common system is green, it means go, yellow means slow down, and red means stop immediately. And this is something that you can, use when you're unsure. But, I think it's kind of fun to maybe use other words or other ways to communicate it.
Do you have a safe word that you've used before?
Never. I don't have a safe word.
We're so great to be talking about this right now.
I know. I just go for it. I'm like, I think my safe word is stop, motherfucker. I said fucking stop.
I said stop. It's clear enough.
Right? I think that's pretty clear. I love it. Let's talk about aftercare. Let's talk about aftercare.
Okay, I love
it. So the emotional and physical decompression after a scene, like Janice said, essential for trust, connection, and safety. What does aftercare look like for you? It looks different for everybody. This is also a place that you need to communicate.
Yes.
What do you need? Do you need to cuddle? Do you need caress? Do you need whatever. What's yours, Jen?
So we discovered that something that I really like for my aftercare, for whatever reason, I'm still not completely sure, but what I really like for my aftercare is I like to sit up, upright, and kind of be wrapped in a blanket and have a conversation while there's something about the sitting up motion that makes me relaxed and kind of come down from the situation or from the experience and feel looked after. It feels really calming to me. To sit up in bed and be kind of covered up with a blanket.
I love that.
Yep. It was something that we kind of discovered, after a few scenes that just really did it for me.
That works. I love that. I like soft caressed touch. I like my hair to be, I like someone to touch and play with my hair. That calms me.
And you can ask for these things. You feel comfortable?
Yeah. I mean, I don't typically do kink with somebody who I haven't established some kind of relationship with, because I don't think you could just willy-nilly do that on a one-night stand. Or
definitely not.
Or the first time you're with someone. You remember that story where that douchebag was supposed to be watching a movie with me, and then next thing you know, he's like asking to massage me, and I was like, cool, yeah, I'll take a massage. I'll take a fucking massage any old goddamn day. And so remember when he whipped out the restraints and restrained me, and then he was backdooring himself? Remember that
story? Yes, I do remember that story. And a couple others that maybe we'll save for another time of yours.
Right? I don't know.
You also got blindfolded on our first date.
Oh my God, that one I thought I was going to be abducted. That one I thought he was kidnapping me. I thought I was going to be stuck in his place forever. That was the scariest fucking day of my life. That was the scariest. Wow.
All right, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah. No, it's all right. That woo. I like being blindfolded. Let's restructure this. Okay. I am a blindfold queen.
I want to talk about this.
I love it. I love the feel of it, the mystery of it. I like really submitting. I like showing how much trust that gives. Understand I don't blindfold with just anybody. It's got to be with a partner that I've been, secure with for a bit. But I like it a lot. It's probably my biggest kink.
Really? You like it that much? See, and that's
so
a red thing for me. I don't like it. I find it humiliating. I find it uncomfortable. Also,
I find it sexy as
eyelashes that I don't want to. And maybe it is partially about my eyelashes, but I did it once, and the guy took a picture, and I thought it was like the worst picture of myself I've ever seen.
That's not a safe moment.
Well, no, I just don't like it. Just there's nothing about it that I enjoy.
I like the 100% trust submission.
I like that too, but just not in that way.
I like that.
I want to be tied up.
Oh yeah, that too. But I like what I really like about it is that I have zero fucking control. Zero. And I have so much control in my life that letting that go in those moments are the most freeing moments for me.
See, a lot of BDSM does that for me. I just don't think the blindfold does that for me. How does that give you control? Why do you think that makes you more in charge? Or like less in charge, excuse me.
It has zero control. It gives me zero control.
Just because you can't see?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's coming. I'm not anticipating it. I'm not in the yes, no, don't, you know what I mean? I'm trusting so fully that it's just a freeing moment for me. I really love it.
And I do get that out of different types of BDSM. Like being completely tied up and completely restrained would do that for me. But
I'll take them both together.
Okay. You know what I've learned, and Chris has reflected this to me, and also some of my friends, that this puts me like kind of in the minority, that a lot of women enjoy being blindfolded. I am not one of them. I find there's something degrading. I just think also I looked ugly when I don't know. It's not my thing.
You're judging yourself way too harshly.
I don't enjoy it. Also, these lashes are not cheap. So
well, there are masks that are cupped.
Still,
that you don't touch your eyelashes at all. You can have your eyes open in them. It's just art. I love it. I love it. I want my drink served on a hand out of nowhere. I love it. So the sexy truth about consent is that it isn't a mood killer. It's a turn on when both people feel safe to explore. That's my takeaway.
Oh my God. We're actually planning a scene for tonight, and just like talking about it ahead of time is so exciting.
I love it.
No, you get the bubbling underneath the surface of like, you know what's going to happen, but you don't. And like planning it out, getting to ask, like, this is actually what kink is partially about, like expressing what you find kinky and then actually having somebody fulfill that for you.
Right. Right. I love that. Now we're running out of time fast. So I do want, no. So I do want to cover control, like who has it and why it matters really quick before we give some healthy advice to everybody. The illusion of control in BDSM can sometimes be the submissive often has the real control because they set the limits. And I think that people need to understand that if you're thinking that you're the submissive and you have no control, you're wrong. That you have the real control. The fake control is the dom.
Well, it's not that it's fake, but you're in control because you're asking to relinquish control.
True. I don't know why I said fake.
No, okay. Okay.
Probably because my notes I put real control, and then I was like, the fake control.
Well, it's again just something that you're co-creating, so you both have control, but he can't take control unless you allow him to.
Right. And control actually during play can only work when both people trust each other completely. So that's the truth of the foundation of it. But the psychology of the control, and I have written for both Dom and sub, the psychology of control for Doms is the rush of the responsibility and the focus. And then for the subs, it's the freedom of surrendering choice in a safe, consensual space. So I love that. That's my favorite thing about that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Healthy versus unhealthy control. A healthy control is when it's negotiated boundaries, respect, care, and check-ins. It's when the person is checking in with you to make sure it's okay. How are you feeling? Is this too hard? Do you want more? Do you want less? Just touching in with you and allowing you that freedom to be able to say, yes, I want more. No, I want less,
But it's also in and outside of the bedroom, because some kinky people take this, outside of it.
Outside. Oh, exactly. The unhealthy one is the manipulation, the coercion, or ignoring the boundaries. That's the hard part. So we have some helpful advice for our listeners for all three sections: kink, lifestyle, and control. If you're curious about kink, just start with communication. Talk about your fantasies before trying them. Just talk about them. Research together books like Come As You Are, or it's called The New Topping Bottoming book.
I don't know that one, but I would definitely say there's plenty of things online to do research. We have talked about the BDSM quiz before. I know you're not a fan, but I am. If you are somewhat interested in these things, both take it and then talk about it.
Yep. I think it's a good idea. I think it was fun when we did it. It was a blast.
I
remember that
am
episode?
A big fan. Yes, I do remember that episode for sure. I was dating Christopher at that point.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
If you're in the lifestyle, keep consent active, not assumed. Always check in before, during, and after play. Don't skip aftercare. It's the emotional glue that keeps the kink safe and connected.
You have to.
Respect hard limits. Crossing them is a deal breaker. And revisit boundaries often because people evolve.
And relationships evolve, and tastes evolve. You'll discover more things that you like, things that you used to like that you're not as into anymore.
Right. And then the last thing I have is, if you've been in a controlling or abusive relationship, understand that consensual control is very different from the manipulation or abuse.
Well, some people say that it can be better than therapy if you've been through that.
Yeah, it can be, I think, because it can help your mind move past a lot of issues with that. It can be healing when it is rooted in communication, trust, and mutual respect. And therapy or support groups can help unpack past trauma before engaging in control-based play. So that's interesting.
This could blow open your entire life. Like, do it
can.
Intentionally is what I will say. But there's a world of possibility if you choose to lean into this with someone you trust.
And I have some real hot discussion prompts for y'all. Okay, that could get you moving in the direction of communicating with your partner. Here's four prompts that could really get you started. Is control sexy because it's power, or because it's permission? Which I find interesting. That's an interesting question.
I mean, do you want my answer?
Sure.
I think it's both completely.
I do too.
Completely both.
I 100% agree with that. Why does communication and kink often lead to better sex overall? That's a great question to really ask yourself. And can kink be empowering even for people with trauma? Yes.
Especially for.
Yes. Yes, my friend a couple of days ago was helping me with my vintage car that I'm selling, and he said to me, it's really hard for him sometimes when he finds out a woman's been through trauma. It worries him. It gets him into his head more, and he kind of worries about, whether he's having sex with them properly or not. And I said, listen, it helps people with trauma to be able to feel safe with somebody. I said, just get out of your fucking head and talk to them about it.
Use your words.
Yeah, use them.
I'd love to talk more about this sometime.
Me too.
That has kind of haunted me with having this past. Men have said things like that.
Yeah, I think we should have this conversation. Would you like to come back and talk about this?
I would love to come back and talk about this.
I
mean, it's happened to me recently, so yeah.
Oh, interesting. My last question prompt is, how do you balance the fantasy of surrender with real world self-respect? Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. Mm-hmm. So I'll have you back to talk about, how kink can be empowering for those of us who have been fucked in the head for a while.
My pleasure.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming today. Janice, you're my hero. Thank you for being here. The next 2 weeks, I have a big announcement. In 2.5 weeks, I'm starting a brand new podcast. It is called 50 Shades of Enlightenment. And I'm doing a 50 Shades series. I'm doing 3 podcasts coming soon. All of them are a 50 Shades segment. Thomas Sawyer is going to be my host with me on 50 Shades of Empowerment. Of Enlightenment. Excuse me. I even lost my own head. And he's coming on the next 2 weeks to lead into our new podcast. So come back. You're going to learn some amazing, psychic, fun, either world.
Ooh,
stuff.
You guys do a reading for me?
Yeah. You want to come back one of those 2 weeks and have your cards read?
Anytime
or reading?
You want. Yes.
Let's do it. All right. So come back next week, same time, same place. And until then, let's keep this shit real.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like and follow us on Instagram at 50 Shades of _bullshit and Facebook at 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks so much for listening, and we really hope to see you again next week.